Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, well, at the end of the show, you said that there wasn't going to be a wrestling podcast on Monday night. Well, plans changed. So that's what we've got. We get to talk wrestling on Monday night.
It's like Kane's foot.
Yeah.
Fancy.
I can assure you this doesn't involve motocross. Welcome to another edition of the Monday Wrestling Podcast, exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. I'm your moderator here on the Popcast Network that has basically been scouring the internet to try to find some good news to talk about because
Probably
I want to. And joining us, as always, is my co-host and also the true voice of professional wrestling and combat sports here on the Podcast Network, and that is Ashley.
I think you'll find it's Big Daddy Ashley. I'm going to run with this for a few weeks because Volta's my boy. I'm running with this shit.
So what do we got tonight? We've got WWE stuff, we got NXT stuff, we got Impact, we got New Japan Pro Wrestling. We're continuing the G1, which of course had the third night earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ring of Honor. We've got news from Lucha Underground. I want to talk a little bit about the Gathering of the Juggalos this coming weekend for some really interesting matches that we get to discuss. Shows that will never see the light of day, but I want to talk about it. Oh, yeah. All this and more tonight on the Monday Wrestling Podcast.
Ooh.
Talk about Raw.
So, I guess the first thing she'll bring up, considering it's the first thing on the show, and how we haven't brought it up yet, because I think the news came in late last night, if not early this morning. The show was dedicated to the memory of Masa Saito.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Who was, let me have a quick math, 75 or 76?
Good Lord.
And in case you're wondering, who is he? Saito Suplex. It's his name. It's his name because it was his move. Although, if you look at his, I love the fact it's like in memory of this guy, but obviously he was tag team champs with Mr. Fuji for a bit.
Yep.
But he also, I mean, this is the quote from Wikipedia. He gained notoriety for his arrest in connection with fellow wrestler Ken Patera, allegedly throwing a boulder through the windows of a McDonald's in Wisconsin.
Yes.
And for a match against Inoki on a deserted island in Japan that apparently, although it was deserted, we know it went on for 2 hours.
This is also correct.
But yeah, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's probably for all the wrestling stuff that he did in 2000. Died from complications of it. I think the actual day was Saturday, I think. 14th.
14th, that's correct.
And the interesting thing, though, is he was training hard to try and be a torchbearer for the Summer Olympics in a couple of years in Tokyo. Which is a little shame.
One of my favorite things about Masa Saito was his tag team with the Great Muta during the Pat O'Connor Memorial Tag Team Tournament in 1990.
Oh, at Starrcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, that match with the Steiners in the finals.
They beat the Royal Family, and then they defeated the Russian team of Salman Hashimikov and Viktor Zanghev. And then the awesome match against the Steiners in the end. And
as it should be.
Another weird claim to fame. Not really a claim to fame, but something interesting on his list of accomplishments. He lost to Johnny B. Bad via DQ
He's
During
a bad,
Starrcade
bad
95.
man.
And he put over Mark Mara. There you go.
Dear fucking God.
I love the WCW tournaments. I really do. I was a big WCW guy. Everyone knows that has been following this network for the longest time. They know how big of a WCW guy I am.
I should just have a double check of my notes. Doesn't seem to be any sign as to whether they did a 10-bell salute at the G1 this, because I think the news only came out Sunday after night 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know whether they actually did like a 10-bell salute. They may honestly be saving it because if I'm right, because I need to get my New Japan schedule up. I think the show earlier today was Hokkaido, which is obviously the very northern island of Japan. The fact that they're going to Kurikan Hall for night 4 on Thursday, that I'm guessing is where they're going to do the actual 10-bell salute.
It was his last match, actually, was for New Japan in 1999.
Yeah, but certainly as well because of the venue and everything.
Correct.
I'd say the venue would be a better place for it to happen, I'd say, rather than Hokkaido, because Hokkaido they only go there like I think once, if not twice a year.
Right.
Whereas Kurikan's obviously got all the history of God knows how many different wrestling promotions there, and considering all his contribution to Japanese and global wrestling, I think that'll probably where we get the 10-bell salute. So that'll be coming up later this week. So we start off with Kurt Angle in the ring saying, "Thank you to all the superstars for being part of an Extreme Rules," and I'm going, bollocks, son. So he runs over the fact, of course, that he gave Brock an ultimatum, like show up and agree to your next title defense. We'll be stripped. So I haven't heard anything, so I'm stripping him. And then, of course, Heyman comes out, and it's like, if Brock don't come out, you're just wasting your time, Paul. And it says, well, it's interesting you say that because Brock ain't here. And then Angle's just about to strip him, and Heyman runs. It's like, holy shit. He's like, I don't blame you for the perception. Everybody thinks that Lesnar doesn't care about being Universal Champion. His sole focus is becoming UFC Heavyweight Champ. But nothing can be further than truth. He loves being in WWE. He loves being Universal Champ. And Kurt's just like, so why don't you show up? And he goes, well, Brock wants to represent the entire WWE universe and challenge the UFC title with the Universal title around his waist. So he'll be a 2-sport champion, just the same way that you challenge for WWE titles with the Olympic gold medal strapped around your neck. And I'm going, he didn't really, though, did he? Let's be honest. He wasn't like, I'm wearing an Olympic gold medal when he faced, was it Rock he got the title off? In 2000.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
I think it was because he defended the title against Undertaker at Survivor Series. And Rock was the champion at SummerSlam.
Which championship?
King of the Ring. The WWF Championship.
Okay.
Might have been Unforgiven.
That sounds likely.
Unforgiven 2000 or No Mercy. No, because No Mercy was I Did It for The Rock.
Right.
Well, that was where it started. So, because it obviously culminated at Armageddon in that clusterfuck of a 6-man Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, Angle won the title in 2000, October 22nd, in Albany, New York at No Mercy in a no DQ match against The Rock.
Dwayne. So Angle just says, look, either Brock's defending the title at SummerSlam or he ain't going to be champion. And Heyman was like, look, you drive a high bargain. You're a hell of a negotiator. On behalf of my client, I will say that Brock will defend the Universal title at SummerSlam. I congratulate the universe for their voice being heard. They've screamed at the top of their lungs that they want more Lesnar. They boo the shit out of him. The only thing you have to do, though, is to decide who's going to be beaten, victimized, and conquered by Lesnar. Here comes Lashley. Lashley says, look, I had two goals. One, I did last night when I beat Roman, and now it's time to accomplish the other. I want to beat Lesnar for the Universal title. Then here comes Drew McIntyre, of all people, who says, why do you think I came back here? You think I came back here to make the roster numbers more equal and stand in Dolph's corner in his shadow? No, I came back for change and to ensure the IC title stayed around Ziggler's waist. That was just phase one. Now it's phase two. I want the Universal Championship. Here comes Seth, who says, if you need an opponent, I'm right here. Then out comes Elias, of all people, and says, nothing sounds nicer than Elias as Universal Champ. And then they officially revealed that next Monday, the album drops. The long-awaited album, which is, of course, entitled Walk with Elias. Then here comes Finn Balor saying that he was the first Universal Champ. What about me? Roman doesn't have any excuses and doesn't care about Brock. He just wants to fight. But he just wants to fight. He doesn't want a shot at the title. He just wants to fight. So Angle goes, so we're going to have 2 triple threat matches tonight. Whoever wins goes 1-on-1 next week. And whoever wins that faces Brock at SummerSlam. So it'll be Elias, Rollins, and Lashley later on. But McIntyre, Balor, and Reigns is right now. Why the fuck is Reigns here?
There's no reason for this at all. You're in storyline purposes, you're rewarding someone who lost clean last night.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, where do we start? The match with Constable Corbin shows up backstage at Kurt and he's like, why are you doing 2 triple threat matches? Did Stephanie give you authorization? And Angle says, I didn't think I needed it. And Corbin goes, well, why aren't I involved? It's like, well, Finn Balor beat you last night and Angle just walked off. So if that's the case, I'm going, so why is Roman there? Because he lost last night. He shouldn't be there. If we're talking about people that lost, that deserve an opportunity, it's not Roman. And I guess, as we now have to say, lol, Roman wins. The thing is, despite the result and Reigns bleeding pretty badly from his left eye, the match itself was good because McIntyre and Balor were just really good. And then Roman did, all his random shit. And Finn Balor ate the pin. I mean, I don't know what to say. Is there anything to say? Oh god, it gets worse. Bailey's backstage with Angle coming in. And Angle's like, how did the counseling go? And Bailey said, look, we tried and I was honest and everything, but it just didn't work. But, you know, I just think that we won't be together ever again. And Angle goes, look, when we have disagreements, they're settled in the ring. So you two are going to team up against Alicia Fox and Dana Brooke. And Bailey's just like, I don't think this is a wise idea. And Kurt just goes, look, they're valuable together. And if you can't get along, one of you is going to be traded to SmackDown. So I'm going, at this point, I'm going, like, wing, wang, why? And all that. So then Ziggler comes out and he says, you know, move over Robert Downey Jr. because I am Iron Man. That's a bit harsh if bloody Iron Man gets killed off in the next film. Because it's like, he isn't. So don't worry, you can become Iron Man 2 if you want to. No, I don't mean the movie Iron Man 2. But Ziggler says that, I didn't realize this, the IC title main evented a WWE pay-per-view for the first time in 70 years. So it's 17. Said that wrong. Now I'm trying to remember what pay-per-view that was. Which pay-per-view did the IC title main event, do you think, Owen? Owen?
No, the one the one I definitely remember, but it's not really it wasn't the main event, but I was going to go with SummerSlam 92 in Wembley, but
well, no, because it said 17 years. So 17 years is 2001. I'm still trying to see. Yeah.
Okay.
It said 17 years.
So according to that, 2001. I have an answer to this. And this was a pay-per-view, but it didn't say which pay-per-view, correct?
Yeah. Now trying to go through the list of all the pay-per-views. Well, no, that was for the...
That really doesn't count.
I guess... Oh, no! Now having seen it, I remember. I think it's Backlash 01. Because it was the Power Trip versus Kane and Undertaker. With...
Yeah.
Because Stone Cold was WWF champ.
Yeah.
Triple H had the IC title. And Kane and The Undertaker had the tag titles. And all the titles are on the line.
Right.
So I think that's the stat there. So technically, the IC title, I mean, it was defended, and it did main event a pay-per-view, but there was like two other titles on the line, the tag belts and the main belt, at the same time. So it sort of got buried. But Bobby Roode cuts him off and says, you know, I want a match with you. I want to challenge you for the Intercontinental title. And Roode's getting ready, and Roode's just like, oh, you're worried you can't do it on your own. You need Drew's assistance. And Ziggler's just like, you want a match? Okay, you got it. JoJo's making the introductions. And Ziggler goes, oh, no. I said you could have a match. I didn't say it was for the title. And it's just like, yes. Beautiful heel work there. The surprising thing is Ziggler and Rude felt like a house show match.
Wow.
It just felt like it just felt formulaic rather than anything special, despite the two guys. And I don't know whether Rude needs to turn heel again, because they seem to not give a shit about faces getting booed and heels getting cheered. So makes sense. Bobby Lashley talking to an actual proper camera because he doesn't deal with mobiles. Beast fears no man, but the Beast has never fought somebody like me. Nice. Bobby Roode backstage looking upset, and Mojo just comes in and says, "You're supposed to be glorious." And he walks off because he's up in action against Tyler Breeze, which Mojo wins with an Alabama slam. When he won, the crowd didn't cheer. They didn't boo either. They just did fucking nothing.
Gee, I
Great
wonder
job,
why.
guys. Great job. Great motherfucking job. Mojo, get the fuck off my screen. Jesus. So now it's Bailey and Sasha versus Dana and Alicia, which goes to a double count out because it does. What a great match. And I'm just thinking, can we end this? And then it happened. Then it fucking happened. Sasha's getting ready to leave, and Bailey's just like, "Look, what happened? What's going on?" And Sasha looks, "I won't let anybody beat you up but me. I care about you, Bailey, and admire everything about you. I love you, Bailey. I always have, and I always will." And I'm going, is this LGBT angle that fucking Vince and Stephanie are desperate to have? Because the way she said "I love you," it wasn't like a sort of like friendship. It was sort of like Thelma and Louise.
Wow.
Or insert lesbian moment from movie or TV show here. It was that sort of thing. So yeah, this love affair must continue. It's not a feud anymore. It's a love affair. Oh, fuck. Braun Strowman backstage with Renee Young. And Renee asks whether he had any regret over what he did to Kevin. And says, yeah, I regret that I didn't congratulate Kevin on his win. Then Renee went, why didn't you try and get involved in any of the triple threat matches? And Roman goes, briefcase? I've got a championship opportunity anytime, anywhere. I don't need any other opportunities. I've got mine. So now it's time for B Team versus Ascension, with the B Team winning. But then the Deleters of World appear on the screen and says, enjoy your moment of glory because it won't last. And then Matt goes, you have disturbed the imperial equilibrium of the heavens. Now you must pay for your cosmic crimes. And Wyatt says that they'll invoke the rematch soon. And Hardy goes that they will be deleted forever. So I've got a feeling they've lost confidence on Authors of Pain. And Hardy and Wyatt versus B Team might be the Raw Tag Team title match at SummerSlam.
Oh, wow. Oh, God. Chat.
Saving I think they might be saving AOP for, what is it, Clash of Champions, or is it Hell in a Cell, the next one? I think it's Hell in a Cell in September, isn't it?
Probably. It's not a show we're going to be covering on this network.
No, you won't.
I won't know. I have more important things to do involving much more fun things. So Kyra says, is WWE bringing back HLA?
They're bringing back PMS. I don't even fucking know.
Oh, God.
I don't know. So here comes Alexa. And says, nobody believed that I could, win, but they were wrong. Well, no, I believe you'd win. I didn't think you'd do it in 7 minutes. Jesus Christ. And Bliss says she's dominated the entire women's division because the strongest muscle she has is her brain. Is the brain technically a muscle? We need a scientist. She's beaten She's beaten every single woman in the crowd, and there's a very faint Ronda chant. And Bliss is like, Ronda don't count. She went in the locker room because she's suspended. And after last night, she should be suspended indefinitely. She's supposed to be a fan sitting in the front row. So Ronda just comes out through the crowd and jumps the barrier and whatever. And Bliss just beautifully goes, I've said it, just seeing this out the corner of her eye. Well, I've said all I need to say. Bye. And he goes to leave. But Ronda cuts her off, chases her, gives Mickey the judo slam, the judo F5, and then she's ready to go with the armbar, but Bliss just about rescues her. And then Kurt comes in and says, "Look, calm down, especially after what happened last night. You got 2 days after your suspension. Go home, wait it out." Here comes Constable Corbin and says, "Whoa. What's Ronda done? She needs to be reprimanded for her actions. Put your foot down, do your job." So Kurt goes, "Okay, that is fair. I'm going to give you another week on your suspension." And Corbin's like, "What? Why is this? Stephanie won't be pleased. I'll call her right now." And he keeps checking his pocket. It's like, "I must have left my phone in my office. Stay here, everyone. I'll be right back." And then within 2 seconds, as he can probably hear it because the venue's that bloody loud, Angle pulls his phone out of Corbin's phone out of his pocket and says, "I guess he's looking for this." It's like, right. And Angle goes, "Look, if you wait out your suspension, you're getting a match against Alexa Bliss, and it ain't just any match. It's for the Raw Women's title at SummerSlam." Fucking called it. And of course, Alexa was like, "Rude." But they really did that well. The first segment that was actually good and I actually cared about. Because Alexa's great on the mic, and Ronda's becoming the sort of badass character that she should have been from the start, rather than Stephanie getting her big tits all over the shit, or her lady balls, or whatever it's called. Still don't know whether that book's even coming out, her autobiography, if ever. Then Caruso's interviewing Rollins backstage and says, "Look, I have to go through Roman at SummerSlam, or to get to SummerSlam. We're buddies and everything, but despite how much I love him, is it the same way as Bayley and Sasha?" Authors of Pain squash Titus Worldwide. So that happened. Sarah Logan and Liv Morgan walk through a conga line from No Hey Jose in a "why the shit is that happening?" So now it's time for Athena versus Crazy Mary Dobson. I don't know what promotion it would have been. They probably face each other somewhere, maybe. Either way, thanks to a Liv Morgan distraction, Sarah Logan gets the win. That Owen missed something important. Not only is it Ember Moon's first loss on the main roster, but I think it's Sarah Logan's first win completely. Because I don't know whether she won on televised NXT stuff. Owen might be able to get the stats for that. Maybe.
What are we looking for?
Did Sarah Logan win any matches in NXT? Because as I say, the match, the win tonight over Ember Moon was at least her first ever since she got called up to the main roster.
Such a shame.
So I'm trying to verify whether it is the first time outright. I don't think it would be. I'm guessing she must have won somewhere on, because I don't think she was involved in the Classic of Mae Young. And yeah, I'm saying it wrong on purpose because of Hardy or whatever. Either way, so then Elias is introduced because we're getting ready for the main event. Oh, apparently Deleters of World versus B Team for the Raw Tag Team Championships next week. So there goes my idea of SummerSlam. Must have missed that. So Elias is introduced, strums, and he's just staring at the crowd for about 15 seconds, and I'm going, okay. And then, of course, I realized it was Elias, and he goes, oh, sorry, guys. I forgot where I was, and when I realized that I was in Buffalo, I just got really depressed. And I was just like, that was the thing. It was supposed to be booing it. Buffalo clapped it because that was ingenious writing. Apparently, the 40,000 writers of Raw did one thing right. I love you, Bailey. I fucking love you. I want to stick my tongue in your lips. That's what it'll be if we're in the Attitude Era, blatantly. He reminds us that the Walk with Elias album's dropping July 23rd. And then he does a song, but gets interrupted by Rollins. Although he does say that he should have been IC champ, but Rollins cheated and everything. And rather watch paint dry than listen to Bobby Lashley speak. But Seth cut him off, and then interesting with Lashley making his entrance, Elias attacks Seth, and it still went down. Somewhat better match, I'd say. This one. But eventually, it's Lashley with a spear, and yeah, he won. What else can I say? It was just an overall average show. Again, which, considering we're building up to SummerSlam, is probably not good. Let's hope SmackDown's better tomorrow. It won't be, but we can hope, can't we? So I guess, shall we mention some of the WWE news? Yeah, the Kane thing. that line you said about the dirt biking or whatever, was that a joke because of Hardy or not? Owen,
Yes.
was the dirt biking thing a joke? Because I don't think Kane was dirt biking. That's more of a Jeff Hardy thing. What we're trying to say is Kane legit hurt his leg somehow at some point over the week. That's why his foot was in the boot, quite literally. They also announced that NXT Takeover War Games is back for Survivor Series. So it looks as if War Games is going to become the Survivor Series tradition, by the looks of it. Which, considering how good the first one went, I have no complaints. The problem is, can we drag out Undisputed Era and British Strong Style for that long to WrestleMania? Because I can't think of any other stables that might be coming through that would be worthy to take on Undisputed Era in a War Game style thing. We'll have to see. Don't seem to be anything else. So, shall we jump into G1, Owen?
Yeah, I'd say so.
So night 3 up in Hokkaido. Elgin beat Page in a pretty solid match. Evil beat Yoshihashi, which was okay-ish. Makabe and Suzuki was pretty solid, with Makabe actually getting the win. Farley beat Okada. With, of course, some ref bump and Tangaloa and Tamatonga getting involved because, you know, Tonga motherfuckers. And then Jay White beat Tanahashi. They are really trying to push Jay White, at least in this early stage. And I don't know why, because I don't think it gels. In all honesty. I love the fact that people weren't in here in the chat, Owen, yet they just all keep calling me Big Daddy Ashley. It's stuck. So in terms of what's coming up for the G1 in the next week or so, are we doing anything for Slammiversary on Sunday or TBC? Is that, Owen?
It's tough. I mean, right now, I can tell you that Sunday is 22nd, right?
Yeah.
I get off at 4. I got to be at work at 9 in the morning. I don't run the next day, so that's a possibility.
Because it's looking like a better card than Extreme Rules is right now. Or did, I should say.
Well, yeah, that's pretty obvious.
So, yeah, just in case, I'll run down for the next couple of weeks. Probably for till the end of the month, maybe. So,
but first, can I get some questions from chat?
Oh, we actually got questions in chat.
I
just saw the Big Daddy Ashley stuff.
Back to the nodding off during the show, as always. Yeah, Big Daddy Ashley. One Triple S says to Hyro, no one wants 3-minute warning. Did we talk Impact? We're getting there. Was Raw a hit or miss because last week apparently had its lowest ratings?
I don't think it went up against anything like major last week. Then again, it was a crap build up to, you know, a pay-per-view that we weren't really interested in, and clearly a lot of fans weren't interested in. That's why they tried to go big on it tonight with Brock, because of course tonight was the home run derby,
right?
in the baseball as they lead into tomorrow's All-Star game, which goes up against SmackDown. So depending what the viewership is for that, Raw's viewing figures could be even worse than they were last week.
Oh, by the way, we're doing rapid fire answers for these questions now, just to save time.
Yeah.
We saw an Impact reunion with Lashley, Angle, and McIntyre.
To some extent, yeah.
Who remembers when Drew had the stable called The Rising? That was entertaining.
Who was in that?
God, I have to think about it for a second. To the interwebs.
Same here.
How was that wrestling stay? Oh my God, yeah. The feud with the Beatdown Clan.
Oh God, that's why I don't recognize it, because it was the TNA feud. It was the TNA stable of him, Eli Drake, and Micah.
Yep.
Fucking Tangaloa.
Exactly.
Firing squad is not for kids.
Oh my God.
Fuck them.
Pretty much. Let's see what else we got in chat here.
Who is Bernard the business bear under the suit? I think it's just somebody from whoever they can get to sort of be in the suit. In all
Might
honesty.
even be one of the trainees from the school.
Yeah. It's going to be a different one for depending where Cody is, though. I'm guessing it's a Ring of Honor young boy or a trainee and whatever you want to call it when there's ROH shows, and it's probably some New Japan person, maybe, when it comes to New Japan appearances.
Brian Cage in Impact. How can he be so if he's still working for Lucha Underground?
I think they seem to be doing... Well, keep in mind, Impact is now... I don't think the term is in bed, but sort of in an active relationship now with AAA.
Yep.
So I think that's why, because of course AAA owns Lucha Underground. So I'm guessing they're sort of allowing that through that way anyway. You know, keep in mind as well, if we're going on the fact that this person's an Impact, Aries shouldn't be in Ring of Honor.
Very correct.
Taiji Ishimori shouldn't even be in Impact because of whatever. I don't even know whether he's supposed to be even in the Bullet Club now, because I don't know what the Bullet Club is and isn't. Because we've yet to establish really what's going on with that.
Yeah, exactly. They're working on it.
Although, if we're going on the rule of Farley, fuck them.
Yeah, El Jefe says, "We love you, Ashley, Big Daddy."
Yeah.
One Triple S says his theme should be Volter's theme.
Well, yeah.
He wants you to do. He wants you to do chops as well.
There is a fun. Well, I'm bringing it up quickly here because everybody's talking about Volter like that. Apparently, the match he had with, I think it was Brody King at PWG, although Walter won and retained, remember all those pictures you saw of Sammy Guevara's chest after Volter murdered him on the last show?
I do.
Brody King did that to Volter. So Volter's chest was purple. Keep an eye. I think they just put up the highlights video for that this week from Enders 5. So watch that on PWG's YouTube channel. You might not see the chops all there, but they're there.
Last piece of a question for the time being, at least. Hyra says, I feel Sasha and Bailey feels like they're doing together to work together to set up a women's tag title. God, I hope not.
It blatantly looks like that, as if say, if you don't get along, you're leaving, and it's like they're getting along, they hate each other, but somehow they are. I wonder whether the tag team belts, because of the women's division being relatively sparse, whether the tag team belts are going to be cross-branded.
They would have to be.
Because if there's no solo branded shows or whatever anymore, it certainly makes sense to sort of do it. Unless you're going to bring more women up and get them involved, but you're barely using them at the minute. Anyway. So I don't know. I just don't know.
We can move forward now.
I guess I could probably quickly find out what happened tonight. The main event spoilers. No Way Jose beat Kurt Hawkins. And the revival of Mike Kanellis beat Chad Gable, Rhino, and Heath Slater.
What the heck was that kind of match?
Mike Kanellis won a match. That's all I fucking care about. Mike Kanellis won a match. Yes. Yes. And indeed. Yes. Which is always good. So where do we go next? Should we stick with the WWE stuff and cover episode 458 of NXT?
Sure.
So we started off with a non-title match with Danny Burch and Adam Cole, which was pretty nice. Super kick into Ushigoroshi into the last shot that got Cole the win. We then go to the parking lot with Candice confronting Shayna, with Candice not being happy over Shayna's comments and, basically, burying the women's division. And Baszler goes, look, you should just stick to being the cute little sidekick. So Candice slapped the shit out of her and they had a pull-apart brawl. And I'm going, this is what Candice was made for. Make it happen. Oh, wait. We'll get to that. Then Dakota Kai is interviewed backstage by Kathy Kelly, which Lacey Evans interrupted. And Lacey said that the women's division needs more class and sophistication. And I'm going, so what we mean by class and sophistication is the 1950s. So what we're trying to say, Lacey, is what you need to do is do a moolah and allegedly profit off other women's sexual activities. Is that how we're doing it? Because the 50s gimmick stuff is not working, I think. I don't know. Has it worked with you anytime you've seen her wrestle, Owen, or not?
I've never been a fan. I don't like her at all.
So Dakota's reply was said she clicked the class off her face for next week. So then it's Kairi Sane beating Vanessa Bourne, which was a solid little match and whatever, winning with the anchor submission is always nice. And Sane said that she knows Baszler's strong, that she's beaten her before and she'll win again and will capture the treasure. So yeah, next week I think it's going to be Candice, Kairi Sane, Nikki Cross, and Bianca Belair in a 4-way. Whoever wins faces Shayna at TakeOver Brooklyn. Spoilers, Bianca Belair is not going to be in that because she was having a honeymoon. So I guess that's how you make her look strong without her not being involved in the match. So Aleister Black was then supposed to be doing an in-ring promo, but Gargano met him as he was entering the building, and Gargano was insistent that Ciampa can't ever become NXT champ. Then as Black came in, Ciampa sneak attacked him. Good old draping DDT on the concrete floor, and yeah, Black defends the NXT title against Ciampa in 2 weeks. So it looks like they're actually doing it on TV, not on. Actually, come to think of it, when are the next NXT tapings?
Let's see. Not too much. It shouldn't be too much longer.
I was going to say they must be around. Oh, take it back. It's tomorrow. Well, I say tomorrow, Wednesday, the 18th.
Yep. Tickets are still available.
Mate, yeah. To quote Mike Goldberg, tickets are still available.
No. Piece this together. Full Sail tapings. Tickets are still available, and the show is Wednesday. Something's not stirring the Kool-Aid.
Well, no, it's because they've all paid the money to see the Mae Young Classic because that's sold out.
So let's see.
Interestingly, as well, I've just noticed the tickets for the NXT tapings at Full Sail for August after SummerSlam are sold out.
Already sold out. Yep.
The tapings for before SummerSlam are not.
Now, there are tapings that will go on sale on August 10th, and that's going to be the tapings that take place the day before my birthday in September. So
if anybody wants to give Owen money so he can go to them.
Well, Owen has to work that night and be spooky, so that's not going to be happening, unfortunately.
God damn it.
That's what happens when you don't give yourself days off.
Then Undisputed Era and Mustache Mountain had another great match. I don't think it was as good as the match that they had in the UK. But yeah, Trent basically was selling the heel hook submission massively, also with a double knee bar as well, following afterwards. And you know, Tyler couldn't make the tag because he was nowhere near the corner, and Bate just eventually just literally threw in the towel. So via, I guess, would it be TKO by throwing in the towel, or forfeit?
Forfeit.
I guess forfeit.
It wasn't a knockout, so it's not TKO.
Yeah, and it wasn't a submission either, was it? It wasn't technically a submission.
Hold on. Chat time.
Oh.
No, it's not my birthday. My birthday is September 20th, 1st, actually. So yeah, September 21st is my birthday. So yeah.
Everybody's getting confused.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you for the happy birthday, though. Hyro says, I'm going to take over War Games instead of Survivor Series.
Not okay. Considering, well, I don't even know whether four horsewomen and four horsewomen's happening.
Considering the fact that I still kick myself that I went to NXT TakeOver.
Unless War Games become Shayna and the women that aren't Ronda, and I guess somebody else versus some other women of NXT.
I doubt it.
In a War Games match. I think that's the next logical step, because if you can't do a men's tag team situation, because Undisputed Era are going to be, otherwise booked, because I can't see anybody else that, other than, as I say, if they wanted to drag out Mustache Mountain and the UK stuff, they could. But I think that's a little bit concerning to me, because is there going to be enough longevity in that feud? Because it's got to go, another 4 months from now?
Yeah.
To get to November. And I don't see any stables that are really developing that are any caliber compared to Undisputed Era right now, other than British Strong Style in the thing. So,
like I said, I still kick myself for going to take over Orlando instead of Supercard of Honor. So that's one of those things. Hyro says the problem with Impact is when that Knockouts tag titles, it wasn't enough, and Eric Young was in the division. Yeah, I mean, there was a point to that though, even though it wasn't. It was kind of an interesting storyline. Who remembers Zelina Vega in Impact as Rosita? Yeah. Who also remembers the fact she used to date Austin Aries?
Yeah. The amount of jokes that have already been made about that stuff.
Yeah. One Trip West, I remember when Rosita and someone stripping in Eric Young's face, fake wedding to ODB.
What's up with ODB? I liked her when she beat Mickie James. I don't even know what ODB's up to. She still does appearances here and there, I think.
Her food truck is the only thing I could think of.
She's got a truck of food.
Yeah, the ODB food truck. I mean, it's doing very well for itself, to be quite honest.
And Hyro going with the most convoluted statement: is AAA good? Because I've been told the booking is weird and it's got so many clowns. The clowns aren't the problem. The booking is fucking terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. Now, keep in mind, for even some of their big shows, like Triple Mania and whatever, they don't announce any of the card until 2 weeks before. That, and of course, because Triple Mania is CMW's biggest show of the year, now imagine that they don't announce a single WrestleMania match until mid-March if the show's like 1st of April.
Wow.
Yeah. Fucking terrible.
Thought Conan was creative.
He was, then he wasn't, then he was, then he wasn't, and now he is again. It's that fucking complicated. Dr. Wagner Jr. and La Parka have been in that company, I think, 7 times in the past 9 years. They literally go, leave, then come back. And not in a Undertaker goes sort of thing. No, they go to another promotion and are locked there for about 6 months. And then they give up there. And I don't know. Some of the big stuff that did come through Mexico, because I'm just having a look at Cubs fan. Puma King's now left CMLL, so he's officially independent. So I don't know whether that means you're going to be seeing him more on the US indies, if he can. Do it. Trying to see where the AAA stuff is listed, if it is. Where's the AAA TV from Friday? Oh, here the Phantasma and Jeff Jarrett beat Pagano and Psycho Clown. I completely forget every time that Jeff Jarrett's in that fucking company. The thing is, it's like, and it looks as if, it says here as it stands, it looks like Jarrett won't be appearing again on AAA television until the Triple Mania show. So if whatever they're doing with him as world champion, I guess have to be unveiled at a press conference. So yeah, that's a clusterfuck. Also, Jack Evans is back in action in AAA as well. His team won, worth noting. Also, Lady Shani apparently pinned Fabi Apache in their 6 woman tag, which apparently is the first time Fabi Apache's been pinned all year on television. So I guess we're building to stuff on there and shit, and all that. If considering it's free on Twitch, it's probably worth watching because it's free. But I wouldn't like invest money into it. Yeah, I wouldn't pay for a subscription to watch archives because the amount of stuff that's there, it's ridiculous. Just having a look in the comments as well. Isn't that basically like Loki leaving Impact whenever he comes back? Loki, I think, is just a fucking loose cannon.
Is he MLW champion now?
Yes, we're going to get to that, but the difference with the Mexican wrestler stuff is they go to another promotion and say, I'm never going back to that promotion again. Loki has never said he's not going back to WWE again, or he's not going back to Impact again, or he's not going back to Ring of Honor again. If they offer him the right money and he bothers to show up, because I'm looking at the bloody Bloodsport thing that he refused to show up at Mania weekend for. And all his excuses from a promo that sounds more robotic than God knows how many of the backstage interviewers at WWE were for a bit. Sexy Star still wrestling. I thought she was blacklisted from everything. Fun fact. Do you remember that crazy Japanese women's match, Owen, from a few years back?
Which
with
one?
Yoshiko and Yasukawa?
Oh yeah.
When she fucked her up royally and ended Yasukawa's career because she basically made her blind in one eye by accident, and then she just shot on her and made her legitimately blind again in the same eye. She was supposed to be blacklisted. Nobody wanted anything to do with her. The main woman that was sort of in charge of the backstage sort of locker room and everything left the company, set up a new company called, I think, Seed Lining or something like that. Or Sea Lining. Yoshiko's there, and she's champion right now. So there is proof, but nobody is blacklisted from everything. Hell, Hogan apologized for what he said, but you can't hide the fact that he said the M word so much in that leaked sort of clip and whatever. It's like brilliant. What's up with Lady Tapas? I think she's doing bits here and there on the indie scene, not in any of the main promotions. Haven't heard anything about being involved because she obviously was part of Mae Young Classic 1, wasn't she?
Yes.
Got knocked out in the first round, I think. I haven't heard anything about her being called up for Mae Young Classic 2 Electric Boogaloo, so we'll have to see. Now we get to the important stuff. The one that actually got mainstream press. Good old Impact Wrestling. With the recap of LAX beating the shit out of LAX. with Kingston then cutting a promo challenging Santana and Ortiz to nearly said Santina there, lol. Basically EYFBO versus LAX in a 51-50 street fight on Sunday. That seems much more fucking interesting than any tag match that was on Extreme Rules.
Yep.
So then we had Shotzi Blackheart versus Ali. If you haven't seen Shotzi Blackheart, you clearly if you haven't seen her, you clearly don't recognize the fact that she's the one with the green hair. Because there aren't that many wrestlers with green hair. She did pretty well. But Ali was obviously having to look strong, winning with a code breaker and whatever. But then Tessa Blanchard showed up and attacked Ali. Then they built up to Dreamer versus Edwards. Then there was a mystery woman posing in a silhouette with Don Callis going, "Who is this woman? I think I'm in love." Oh, Don. Then there was a segment with Austin Aries saying he was looking forward to hearing an update from D'Angelo Williams about Moose's training, with D'Angelo being a retired washed-up football player. Then it was time for the flashback moment of the week, which was Gail Kim versus Taryn Terrell with ODB as the guest ref, and Christy Hemme, the ring announcer, for the last woman standing match, which Terrell won. What a flashback that was. I forgot that even fucking happened. What a great, memorable moment to show from the history. So now it's time for Josh Matthews interviewing D'Angelo in the ring. The great thing is D'Angelo says that he's training Moose for his Slammiversary match. Yes. D'Angelo Williams, who only did one wrestling match, is apparently already training other people to be wrestlers. I don't believe it. Legit. He says, I'd say I'd never do this again, but I'm back. I've been training Moose in the Batcave. I can't say where, because there's cheaters in the back trying to find out what he's doing. And we're trying to bring that home the gold, and Aries just comes out and it's just like trash. And then they show the footage of Moose training with all his stuff, and D'Angelo says that Aries is just a crybaby and Moose is going to win. Aries shows up, and the crowd are chanting Austin Aries, and Aries is just like, "Thank you, but I do know my name." It's like, and he berated him, saying, you're just an NFL failure that never won a Super Bowl. You were forced into retirement because nobody wants your services, and now you're stepping into my ring to be relevant, using pro wrestling to be important. And he hit him with a left hook, downing D'Angelo. Aries then went for a chair shot on him, but D'Angelo ducked it, kicked him in the stomach, and D'Angelo was about to hit Aries, but Aries kicked him in the balls. With, of course, Matthews being the annoying cunt that he is and goes 3 points. Fucking hell. And then Aries stood the chair up on Williams' back and held the belt aloft. So now it's time for Grado with Katrina and Joe Hendry. What the fuck? Joe Hendry's on Impact Wrestling. Call my agent. Taking on Eli Drake, which Drake won. Afterwards, Katrina and Hendry came into the ring. Katrina got into Drake's face. And once again, Callis was like, "God, look at her looking at Eli. Who can blame her? He's hot." Callis is so good on the color. I'm guessing he isn't going to be doing G1 stuff next week, though, is he?
Probably,
I
probably
think
not.
him, Canada and Japan at the same time. Thanks, Rocky. Then Matt Sydal was talking up his match with Cage. And then they announced that Tessa Blanchard will be facing Ali at Slammiversary. And then Moose did a telephone interview about Aries. In this day and age, a telephone interview. What can I say? Then yet another interview with Madison Rayne saying Slammiversary is the biggest night of the summer. No. That's NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. Then there was a weird noise from around a doorway, which she chased but couldn't find. And when she returned, there was a white sheet that just had written in blood on it, "Your time has come." Her time is now. You can't see her. The time is now. I guess you forgot her. And then there was a tale of a wedding dress that turned the corner. And Rain chased the dress, and she walked into a studio, and the door just shut behind her and locked. Because fuck it. And then there was a very good 6-man with Sami Callihan and OVE beating Swan, Phoenix, and Pentagon. Just really nice overall. They then recapped again that Pentagon and Callahan are going to be in a hair versus mass match. Slammiversary. But then to end the show, we're cutting back to Madison Rayne in that locked room. When she opens the door and to see her world transformed into a dark, eerie nighttime set, and walks slowly when the undead bribes come at her and chanting, "Your time has come," and the brides disappear, and then Sue Young appears, puts her hand in Rayne's face and says, "Your time has come." And I'm going, so you had a great main event and you decide to end with this fucking shit. This is why there's no consistency with Impact Wrestling. I think this is where we run through the card with predictions. Slammiversary 16. So as it stands, we've got 8 matches set.
Okay.
I would not be surprised if I had another one or 2 at least, maybe.
Yeah, we've got 8 right now.
So we got Tessa Blanchard versus Ali. I'd say Ali's probably going to win.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Just because I think the Rosemary thing is going to play into probably the build to Bound for Glory.
Yep.
LAX versus the OGs in a 51-50 street fight. Considering I don't believe it's for the tag titles, is it?
It doesn't say that it is.
I can't even remember who's got the fucking tag titles. If it's not for the titles, then the OGs are winning, I'd have thought.
Yeah, I think Homicide and Hernandez have this one.
Eddie Edwards and Tommy Dreamer in a House of Hardcore rules match. Is it wrong that I say I don't give a fuck about this match? Because I'm sick of the storyline?
I got Alicia getting involved in this and leading to Tommy Dreamer winning.
And then Edwards and Alicia get divorced in real life. Because this is what wrestling does to marriages.
Oh, you mean Eddie and Alicia versus Dreamer and Beulah? Yeah.
Oh, God.
Wrestling booking 101.
Oh, God. You just reminded me that that's what's going to happen. Oh, for fuck's sake. Then, another, Eddie Edwards, Tommy Dreamer, I'm not looking forward to. The other 2 I am. Then we get to this one. Phoenix, Johnny Impact, Rich Swann, and Taiji Ishimori in a 4-way. I don't fucking care who wins. This is going to be a show.
I'm gonna go with Rich Swann here. Never Johnny Impact,
I
but I
don't think
think
they're going to
Swann wins.
give the Lucha Brothers 2 wins, so I think I
No,
probably agree with you there, and they'll probably push Swan. Speaking of that, the mask versus hair match, Pentagon and Sammy. I think it's obvious that Sammy's losing his hair, isn't it?
you'd think so. I mean, unless there's a way around Pentagon losing his mask, but I don't think they're gonna do that.
Well, then Penta sort of loses his gig,
Yeah,
especially when people are watching Lucha Underground, and they're going to wonder why isn't he unmasked for the shows that are coming up in the next 2, 3, 4 months. Consistency. So I'd say Callahan has to win. Matt Sydal versus Brian Cage for the X Division title.
I think Jimmy Jacobs and Congo Kong get involved and cost Brian Cage the match.
Sydal's going to retain via shenanigans.
Yup.
I wonder whether Sydal and Swan is going to be the X Division match at BFG.
I think it's a very good possibility. That's exactly what they're
Or
leading
possibly
towards.
even Phoenix. Or Ishimura. There's a lot of names it could be. Su Young, Madison Rain in a why the hell is Madison Rain in this match? I think Su Young's retaining because unless, well, no, Su Young's retaining, but I'm trying to work out whether it's going to be Ali or Rosemary that gets it off Su Young at BFG, or both. And then Aries versus Moose. I honestly think Moose is winning.
I do too. I think they're putting a lot of stock in him. I don't know why, but
I don't know whether Aries is basically going to be running for the next few months more often in Impact in Ring of Honor than he is in Impact at the minute. Because that belt collector thing didn't really go well because he started losing belts left, right, and center.
yep.
So sticking with half the names that we already mentioned. So we start off with I don't know where to start with this. Lucha Underground. So Cortez Castro's in the ring, and Dario Cueto in a fucking terrible wig shows up, confronted Castro and says, "You are a police officer," which of course we know that's true. And Antonio says, "I want to report a homicide, officer." Matanza. Feed. So yeah. Bell goes. Matanza hits Tour of the Islands. I mean, Wrath of the Gods.
Speaking of that, I know this is obviously Lucha Underground, but did you hear what happened? What broke this morning?
No.
Jeff Cobb is signed with Ring of Honor.
Fuck. Fuck. Oh, fuck.
It's not official yet, but Dave's saying that Jeff has signed with Ring of Honor.
Fuck. That's pretty beautiful. Jay Lethal versus Jeff Cobb. I approve. Yeah, Matanza raised his hands up to the sky. The lights flashed red and went out. And Cortez Castro has been murdered via God. So obviously the police are no longer going to be his back because they're not going to notice that one of their officers just mysteriously gone missing via sacrifice. So then it was time for Jerry Ryan versus Ivelisse for one of the Gift of the God medallions. Ivelisse winning with the code red. Pretty good. The only issue was Striker and Vampiro throughout the whole thing were advocating for violence against women. The way it sort of was a bit of an issue is because Ivelisse is obviously the babyface in this angle, and they kept saying, "Don't feel sorry for her getting beaten up," and it's like, well, no, it's supposed to be female empowerment, but the way you're portraying it is it's like Joey's just beating the shit out of her because he can. That ain't the way it's going. So then, because of course, the interesting shit. So this is the trios champs of Killshot, Son of Havoc, and the Mac in a triple threat for 2 medallions. Do you want to know how complicated this rule is, Owen?
Oh, God.
So, whoever wins the match gets a medallion, and whoever doesn't lose, as in either eats the pinfall or the submission, also gets a medallion.
What's this, Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Where is Olmec? We need Olmec.
Seriously, like, who's Dario or Antonio or
Dario Cueto in a fucking terrible wig?
Samio? Like, at this point, where is his, like, temple guards guarding? Like, Matanza looks like a temple guard. I mean,
Mac hit Killshot with the stunner. And also hit Killshot hit a double stomp on Havoc, but then Mac hit a okay, so Killshot hit a DVD on the apron on Havoc. Killshot then got a double stomp on him as well, and then Mac hit a stunner on Killshot. Then the clever thing is Mac hesitated, like, which one am I going to pin? Because whichever one I pin, they aren't getting a medallion. And eventually he decided to pin Killshot. So Son of Havoc and Mac get the medals, and Killshot is pissed. And then, because we need more medallion matches, Cage versus Mil Muertes. So 2 big guys, and they had a big guy match pretty much. Really well done. It sort of went into the crowd. And this is the key thing. It went into the crowd. Cage grabbed a chair in the area, but then a fan stood up and took off his jacket. And the fan wasn't a fan. It was actually Pentagon Dark. Hit him with a kick, hit him with a chair shot. And then Muertes followed it up with a flatliner. Got the pinfall. Mil Muertes' medallion, Cage don't. And Pentagon just went, "Don't be sad, Cage. You're getting a title shot next week. And then after that, I'm going to break your fucking arm." So then, in a, of course, fucking Avengers like post-credit scene. So the White Rabbit tribe show up and they're like, what are we to do? And Paul London's asking for guidance, after being taken to Killer Cross by, Masquerita Sagrada, saying, I know what we have to do. And Killer Cross came in and goes, you must kill him. Referring to Masquerita Sagrada, the guy, and Paul London murdered him in the same. Because you are a horror fan, Owen. What's an extremely gory? Okay, what's the name of the guy from Day of the Dead that says choke on him? Because I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, the army guy. Damn it. Day of the Dead. 1985 film. Remember how Captain Rhodes dies? Owen?
Yeah.
Remember how Captain Owens dies in... Sorry, Captain Rhodes dies in Day of the Dead? Yeah, when the zombies rip him apart and he just says, like, choke on him. Remember how sort of gory that was, that death? That's what they aired for Masquerita Sagrada's death. Yeah, so not only did Cortez Castro disappear via death, via sacrifice, Masquerita Sagrada got murdered by his own tribe. I have no fucking clue. No fucking clue. I love it, though. I just have no fucking clue. Dear God. Yeah, as people are saying in chat, yes, that is the former El Torito getting eaten and murdered. By the tribe. So I guess that means that he ain't gonna be in Lucha Underground unless somehow he comes back from the dead again. Wait, Masquerita Dorado was in Nacho Libre. That makes sense. That does actually make sense. So yeah, wow. Yeah, let's just end with a sacrifice of a midget. Wow.
Wow. God, do we have any more
sacrifices? Yay!
All right, Ashley. Rapid fire answers here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Chris Jericho will headline the Hall of Fame?
Eventually, yes. Not this year. He's the level where he should be.
Yeah.
Headlining, for sure.
Is Brennan Williams still with NXT?
Let me double check. Brennan Williams. Currently signed to WWE as Marcellus Black. So I guess. Then again, it's like he made his in-ring debut in September 2016, and it's been 2 years, and he hasn't shown up since. But he's still technically in the system. So it's just we haven't seen him on television yet. Which is a bit annoying. Eli Drake in WWE, he's got the promo skills and in ring. On Triple S he already was, and they fucking got rid of him because he was shit. And the thing is, if you tell me select somebody that left NXT that should go back because they've got a chance to, it's not Eli Drake that I'd pick. It's fucking Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson's the guy that's really gone up. What's up with Kahagas and the title? Kahagas hasn't been signed with New Japan. Are we talking about? I remember there was like a Kahagas for the NWA title, but that was like years ago. I have no clue. So sad that there's no NXT Brooklyn next year. I hope they go to LA or Florida. Have they given up on? Oh no, because SummerSlam is going to LA, isn't it, from next year? I think.
So, yeah.
I feel that Eddie's going to align himself with Sami Callihan. After everything that happened, that'd be fucking stupid. But then this is Impact Wrestling, so of course that's what's going to happen. What's the worst recent Impact pay-per-view? I don't know. I'd have to go. The only ones that I can think of are like Victory Road. What was it? 09? Which was terrible. You know, with the Sean Mel Jenner one. And then the one from 2011 with the Jeff Hardy Sting, I agree moment. They were pretty bad. But they're the ones off the top of my head. The other ones I've just forgotten about. There was probably some average to poor ones in like 2013, 2014 when, you know, Impact was on its last legs before having to find investment and everything. I'd say they were pretty bad. Bound for Glory 2017. I can't even remember what was on the card for that one. Did we? Oh, what was the? No, I'd say the worst one. That Bound for Glory that they did in Japan. Was it like 2015? Can you remember that, Owen, or not? Owen's gone to sleep. Damn it.
I'm here.
Was it 2015, the Bound for Glory in Japan?
Yes, because I was butthurt I couldn't go to Bound for Glory.
No, it wasn't.
No, 2016. 14, yeah, that's it.
2016 was Orlando. What was on the 2017 one?
Yeah, I was at Bound for Glory last year. Well, 2 years ago.
Oh, the 2017 one in Canada from last year.
Yes.
Ishimori and Tyson Dukes, which should have got more time because they were more interested in Tessa Blanchard, wasn't it, in that match or something? Impacts in AAA, which was rubbish. LAX and OVE, which was rubbish. Gail Kim shouldn't have won the title in her last ever match for the company because it's like, yeah, let's push over new talent. No, let the one that's retiring win for no fucking reason. Oh god, the Lashley and King Mo match over Moose and Stephen Bonner. Yeah, that was bad. Eli Drake Johnny Impact was good, but it's like that was at the point when Eli Drake was not really the right guy. And then that Monsters Ball match with Grado. Yeah, come to think of it, that was pretty bad. Then again, that entire week was bad because wasn't it the revelation afterwards about the casting call for extras in the crowd? They were getting paid $60 just to be there to fill up the crowd. And the thing is, when they aired it, they never were there anyway. Brian Cage wins the X title and then cashes in Option C. Is that Option C thing still a fucking thing? I don't even remember. Favorite Jeff Cobb match? Just because I know it's available on YouTube, clearly with the blessing of PWG, which you don't very rarely get, Jeff Cobb put up I think it was his first or second round match with Ricochet from Bola last year or the year before on his YouTube channel. So if you search Jeff Cobb Ricochet, you'll find Jeff Cobb's YouTube channel. There's quite a few matches on there that will show you some of his stuff, but I'd say that's a very good one. Quite a lot of the Matanza stuff is pretty decent as well, especially with Mil Muertes. I think he battled him at least once. And to be honest, quite a lot of the stuff would be when he was doing the stuff in California. Because I think he did some stuff for Quintessential Pro, didn't he? I think he was actually on the show this past weekend. Jeff Cobb was. Because it was the California stuff that made his name into getting like the gigs what he did at New Japan and certainly Lucha. So, hate seeing Cage losing another Lucha title match. Trust me, he is, because I know who's champion by the end of the season, and it's Penta. I bet you in 2 more seasons are going to introduce Daria Cueto, his daughter. The weird thing is, I think Cueto's daughter is somehow involved, because if you remember, the chief of police is supposed to have like half this weird medallion, and Katrina has another one, and Melissa Santos has now got one. So I don't know what's going on there. Can I imagine Big Daddy Volta and Lucha Underground versus the Mac? I mean, it'd be different. I don't want to see it, though. I just want to see Big Daddy beating the shit out of Roman Reigns in WWE. People are saying it's not the real Masquerita Sagrada. I don't know. Well, obviously, none of the Lucha Underground stuff is real. Especially because, we all know, Owen can attest to this, Joey Ryan's dead. But how can he be in Lucha Underground, Owen?
That's a good question.
He's dead.
That's why.
Still love that being the Elite video. It's like, we can't have the fight in space. We can't have the fight in the paddling pool. But we are doing it on a boat. Or a Chris Jericho cruise. Then blatantly look into the camera. Tickets still available. Like, and then the bit at the end of that bit where he's just like, you want to come on a podcast again? Yeah, I want to do that. Yeah. See you on the cruise. Like, yeah, Joey Ryan's dead. And anytime you see him wrestling in other companies, he is actually a hologram, like Tupac. He's a hologram. All that sort of stuff. Yeah, El Torito. He's not the original El Torito. That was another Mexican wrestler that died a few years back. He was in his 60s and whatever. He was El Torito in WWE, but he was... I can't remember the name that he had originally. But he was Masquerita Sagrada in Lucha Underground because they ran out of ideas, I guess. Of course they did. I feel that Mahabali Shira could be a good bodyguard of Jinder Mahal. Is Mahabali Shira good for anything, Owen?
I mean, no, not really.
No.
Annoying me.
Don't forget about the shitty audio of BFG 2017. Yeah, that's Canada for... Well, I shouldn't say that's Canada for you. That was Fight Network doing a show with because remember, wasn't that show supposed to be in Orlando, and then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, they said it's in Canada.
Yeah, basically.
I don't remember Candice LeRae mentioning his death. Well, Candice LeRae... Well, keep in mind, Candice LeRae is now employed by the WWE. If they bring up Joey Ryan, they have to bring up his sponsorship with Viewporn. which is a bit complicated. Very complicated. All sorts of complicated. So quickly going to some of the indie results, but letting them load.
I want to do JCW right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Juggalo Gathering and all of that jussiness.
Gathering of the Juggalos going to be taking place. The wrestling shows are coming up very soon. So actually, as soon as tomorrow night will be the first of the shows. The first one is Battle of the Sexes. We have, let's see if you know any of these names. We have Terex against Amazing Maria.
Nope.
Aja Pereira versus Gorgeous Gary Galaxy.
I recognize their name, Aja Pereira, and I don't know why.
Natalia Markova versus Brian Idol.
Brian Idol, I recognize the name of.
We have a tag team match with the Iron Demon, Shane Mercer, teaming up with Kira Hogan, taking on Isaiah and Desi Dorada.
Oh, I know Kira. She's pretty good.
Tragedy Ann takes on the Nerd.
Okay.
The Battle of Janelope.
Oh, God.
Joey Janela takes on Penelope Ford.
That'll be good.
And in the main event, until death do we part, death match, husband versus wife, Tara Calloway versus Jeff Cannonball.
I mean, technically, it could be Jessica Havoc versus Sami Callihan, but I realize he's busy in Canada.
I think they've done that match before, actually.
Yeah, and various promotions.
I'm talking about JCW. Then we've got Oddball Wrestling. Oddball Wrestling is going to be late night this Thursday. We have your... Oh, God. We'll figure out the stipulations. I don't know exactly what to call these, but we're going to call it exactly what we see it.
Do I need to go to juggalogathering.com/JCW events?
No, you need to go to twitter.com/ICP.
Oh.
I'll do this as best I can. JCW Oddball Wrestling presents the Pull Your Bitch match. Brian Idol versus Spider Nate Webb.
Where? What tweet am I looking for?
Just keep looking for it. This started July 14th, by the way. Okay, Oddball Wrestling will have the Marijuana Mayhem match between Jeff Cannonball, the Nerd, Isaiah, and someone I used to manage on the regular from Parental Advisory, Smokey C.
Jesus.
We have a hardcore tag team warfare between the Hooligans taking on Big Baby Powder and Freak Show.
Yes. Have you seen the next one? Yes.
Yes, it's going to happen. The Invisible Man returns to JCW Oddball Wrestling and this time sets his sights on the bad boy Joey Janela.
Again.
One more
the
time.
Invisible Man beat Joey Janela to win that Battle Royal.
Yep.
For GCW. Holy shit.
We have a deathmatch extreme between the new king of the death matches, Jimmy Lloyd taking on Chewy Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
A Brooklyn to Brighton Super Brawl with Casanova Valentine taking on
Big fucking Joe.
Yep.
Because that's a name.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that looks like something that it looks like Joe Hendry mixed with Big Dama.
Then it gets even crazier because next up it's Homeless Jimmy versus Mosh Pit Mike in a hair versus house match.
Yeah, the dreads of Mosh Pit Mike are on the line, and Homeless Jimmy's cardboard box where he lives in on the regular and his shopping cart are up for grabs. That is your main event.
Where's the fucking drugs when you need them? Oh, wait, they're in the marijuana match.
And then Bloody Mania.
Yeah. The Savage Gentleman Victor Benjamin making his debut against the nerd Leland Learnswell.
That's going to be, and then we have
And
the
then
match.
who gives a fuck about that? Teddy Hart versus Joey Janela?
Yep.
That's the match. That's the match.
Sam Adonis takes on Myron Reed.
It should be pretty interesting. First
The
time ever match as well.
Here's an interesting match from the past. The Battle Backyard Wrestling in the Backyard Wrestling video game. M-Dog 20, Matt Cross, Madman Pondo, and El Drunko.
El Drunko!
So more Spider Nate Webb. And then we have the tag team titles on the line.
Kayfabe.
Hey, now. It's been revealed before. JCW. Listen to the commentary on JCW. You'll know what I'm talking about. And we have Mosh Pit Mike and Chewy Martinez taking on the Hooligans for the JCW Tag Team Championships in a hardcore match. Tommy Dreamer takes on Isaiah. And in the main event, anything goes for the JCW World Heavyweight Championship as Congo Kong puts the title on the line against Shane Mercer.
I'm trying to work out who's going to get murdered. To somebody is.
Some really interesting matches here.
Mm-hmm.
So many weird things being said in chat. Talking about Jerry Ryan being dead. Sherry's bad at doing the sky high. Yes, very true. Joey Ryan is dead. Then you're Nick Crompton.
Big Daddy Ashley. Don't we already establish this?
Big Daddy Crompton. Hey, if Joey Ryan is dead, Charlotte is secretly Reed Flair.
Whoa!
Tad bit harsh there, Hiro. I know it's early or late, depending on how you're looking at it, but that's a little harsh.
Yeah, chopping and chopping and chopping.
Double sunset flip.
Jeez.
David Arquette.
Yeah, but you lost.
Yeah, but he put up a heck of a fight.
So just to run out, because I forgot to mention it earlier, the G1 Climax schedule for this week. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 3 state nights in Kurikan Hall. If I can quickly bring up the lineups for those. On the 22nd, they're staying in Tokyo, but they're going to the Esforza Arena Hachioji. Then they have a few days off after day 7. So day 4, which is coming up Thursday, we've got Sanada, Tonga, Yano, Sabre Jr., Juice, Ibushi, Ishii, Naito, and Goto Omega. Then for night 5 on Friday, Elgin, Jay White, Yoshihashi Suzuki, Makabe Evil, Tanahashi Fale, and Okada Page. The big thing about that though is because, of course, Elgin and White are both 2 for 2. So somebody's losing their undefeated streak with that one for sure. And then day 6, Yano Ibushi. That could be fun, considering Ibushi's style. Sanada Sabre Jr. That could be fun. Robinson Naito, Omega and Tamatonga, and Goto Ishii. That on paper is probably the strongest day out of the lot of them so far, because all 5 matches has the potential to be really good. And then day 7, the Sunday, the Tokyo stuff. We've got Elgin, Yoshihashi, Evil, Fale, Jay White, Minoru Suzuki. Jay White can't win that one, surely. Tanahashi Page. That could be an upset there if they want it to be interesting. And Togi Makabe Okada. As I say, they'll take a few days off. And then next Thursday, the 26th, they're in Niigata. Friday, the 27th, they're in Shizuoka. Aichi on the 28th. And then Kagawa on the 30th of July. But we'll run over them in more detail probably at some point next week. because there's obviously a big gap. So the ones you need to concentrate on are the 4 shows in Tokyo over 4 straight days, because this weekend is not already convoluted as it is. It's also worth noting that Ring of Honor is going big this weekend, most notably with Honor for All on Friday, with Nick Aldis versus Flip Gordon for the NWA World Title. Do you honestly think they're going to pull the trigger on Flip?
I think
or not?
I really think it's a very good possibility.
I think I've got a feeling that it isn't, but now because, you know, the Bullet Club is all one side now, you know, there's no feud or anything, Cody may actually just put him on the card somewhere.
He could.
We've also got Chucky T versus Bully Ray on the Honor for All show. TK O'Ryan versus Cody. Matt Taven versus Marty Skull. The Addiction, Young Bucks, and the Briscoes in a triple threat. Karen Q and Sumi Sakai in a proving ground match. And Punishment Martinez and Scorpio Sky for the TV title. So that's the plan for Nashville on Friday. And then Saturday is the tapings at Center Stage, with the only confirmed match being Sumi Sakai defending the Women of Honor title against Madison Rayne in a why the hell is this match happening match. Get your hopes up, everybody. You shouldn't. So results from this weekend. I've only got 3 of the 4 House of Hardcore shows, but I don't think much major stuff happened on it. Because Willie Mack beat Andy Phoenix to retain on, I think it was night 2 in Claremont, Western Australia. Then night 3, Willie Mack retained over Andy Phoenix, JXT, and Slade Mercer in a 4-way. And then night 4 from Huntsville, New South Wales, Nick Aldis beat Robbie Eagles to retain the NWA World Title. And Willie Mack beat Andy Phoenix. Did he just wrestle him for all the shows? Christ. That's boring as fuck. I don't know. That looks a not very interesting card, which for House of Hardcore is surprising. Then again, that's Australia for you, and I guess trying to do a show where not everybody's going to be able to be available because of bookings and everything. Pro Wrestling Eve making news last Friday when they had various signs in the protests regarding Trump's visit saying pile driver fascist. And there were people legit on Twitter trying to say, hey, FBI, look for these people and shoot them. I don't know whether that's how that works, but there you go. But they had a wrestling show on Saturday, Slayers in Spandex. In a She-1 qualifier, Charlie Evans beat Laura Di Matteo. Rio Raya beat Millie McKenzie. Jamie Hayter won the triple threat over Eddie Starr and Erin Angel. Nina Samuels beat Misha East. Kaylee Ray got the win over Kelly Kelly. Tony Storm beat Jetta, I believe. And Casey beat Charlie Morgan in a She-1 qualifier. I don't know if that means Charlie Morgan isn't in the She-1 or not. Probably not. So some interesting stuff there for sure. And then Progress Wrestling. 4 Shade of Green from the O2 Academy in Birmingham. Mark Andrews beat El Fantasmo. TK Cooper got the win over Rob Lynch. Danny Jones beat Eddie Dennis by DQ because Dennis basically beat the shit out of Danny Jones and said he only wanted to fight Mandrews. And then Mandrews dived off the stage at Dennis, but was stopped by the ring crew. Tyler Bate beat Travis Banks. British Strong Style of Dunn and Seven then beat the Kings of the North of Corvin and Bonesaw. Tony Storm beat Killer Kelly. Mark Haskins and Flash Morgan Webster beat Sexy Star in the Thunder Bastard Tag Team Series. But then afterwards, Webster was explaining his relationship with the Haskins until Wild Boar showed up and beat the shit out of Mark Haskins, with Flash Morgan saying he's now with his true brother and mentor, but it's not Haskins, it's the Boar. So I don't know whether that means they're no longer in the Thunder Bastard Tag Team Series, because that's going to complicate matters. And then in a no DQ match, Drew Parker got an upset and beat Jimmy Havoc in a no DQ match. Afterwards, Parker said he wasn't happy by defeating a disappointment. And then Parker set himself up to be murdered by an axe when Paul Robinson made the save, just like he did from Will Ospreay doing any crazy shit, to stop Jimmy Havoc from doing any crazy shit. The interesting thing, as we mentioned at the weekend, and because I saw the YouTube video, it's very likely that Ospreay isn't going to be able to do the Wembley show because of the New Japan show. It's on the same day. So I don't know where it's going. I'll have to see. Oh, and apparently, I know this is really far ahead, but For the Love of Wrestling, which is a show that's happening in Liverpool in late April next year, have announced that Bret Hart and Ric Flair are going to be appearing. Apparently. Obviously not wrestling. Hopefully not wrestling. But you never know. Just crazy shit. So, as you mentioned with the MLW stuff, yeah. Loki's champion, he beat Shane Strickland by some shenanigans with Selena De La Renta, who's the manager. Phoenix and Pentagon are still the MLW tag champs. Teddy Hart was being Teddy Hart. Barrington Hughes was being Barrington Hughes. And whatever. Also, the most important one, Tom Lawler beat Jake Hager. So why is he in Bellator then? But then Tremendous 5 from PWG. Probably the more important show of the weekend. David Starr beat Dalton Castle via submission. Yeah, Dalton's still doing shows despite his injury status. I have no clue why. Ray Horus beat Penta. Apparently there was a shit ton of money thrown into the ring for this match. Jeff Cobb beat Joey Janela. The Rascals beat the Young Bucks to retain the PWG World Tag titles. Phoenix beat Trevor Lee. Again, there was more money for this one in the ring. Riddle beat Marty Scurll via submission. And Volta beat Brody King, despite his chest being purple, to retain the PWG World title. I think the next PWG show is Bowler Weekend. I think. Hang on. ProWrestlingGorilla.com/news. Let's look at the Twitter feed. Let's verify. There's the Bowler list. Load more tweets. There's Tremendous 5. Yeah. The next show is Bowler, September 14th through 16th. So we've got to wait 2 months for more PWG, which is annoying. But then I realized Excalibur's doing commentary for All In, so I no longer give a fuck. Because that shit's going to be good. Have a quick look at the upcoming events. Yes, I'm actually now apparently stealing lines sort of from Colt Cabana. I've only just noticed that. I'm not trying to copyright infringe or anything. It's just that was just what came off the top of my head. Because of course it did. Oh, I never looked at the Shikara results. Damn it. Should be able to get that. Let's see if I can find it. So the first Energy Stadium show that Shikara does, Fire Ant beat Volgar, which means Volgar loses his 2 points. Mark Angelisetti beat Blank. The Creatures of the Deep were victorious over Cyberhawks 2000. Solo Darling beat the Whisper. And Lucas Calhoun beat Calyx the Castigator. And then in the main event, the Boar beat Brick Rowland. Then moving into Clan Feuds, which was the crossover between Beyond Wrestling and Chikara, which probably means Beyond Wrestling had a show, so why don't I know those results? Cage match. Beyond Wrestling cage match. Yeah, there's the promotions. There's the events. Please tell me I've got... Oh, no, it was actually just a cross-promotion thing. Maybe. I have a clue. So, EYFBO for Beyond beat Cornelius Cromwell and Sonny Defarge. Then Solo Darling beat Diona Perazzo, so Solo Darling has her 3 points. Chris Dickinson beat Dasha Hatfield. So Dasha Hatfield loses his 2 points, which at this point Beyond is 2-1 up on Chikara. The reunited, well, the team of Icarus, Tony Deppen, and Travis Huckabee is now called Fist. So Fist, the Fist name has been resurrected. They teamed up with Fire Ant to beat Worker Ant, Green Ant, Thief Ant, and Razorhawk. Then Cam Zagami said he wouldn't defend the Young Lions Cup in the Wrestle Factory ever. Except, of course, Danger Hawk showed up to cash in his golden opportunity from winning the Infinite Gauntlet. And Danger Hawk won, pinning him after a solar flare splash. So we have a new Young Lions Cup champion. Congrats to Danger Hawk. Then Juan Francisco de Coronado beat Jonathan Gresham. So Beyond Chikara 2 apiece going into the main event. And Mark Angelisetti beat Hot Sauce Tracy Williams. So Chikara were victorious over Beyond. In more ways than one when you think about it, because obviously Danger Hawk beat Cam Zagami for the Young Lions Cup. So technically, I guess it's 4-2. So technically, it's the World Cup final. Probably. Maybe. Or something. So shows coming up this weekend, if I can find it in my little bit of notes. I don't skip by them because I just did. I think there's a CWF Mid-Atlantic show going on this weekend. Helps if I click the right link in the description of the bar so I can see whether it's a big show or whether it's one of the shows for the Rising Generation League, which is basically their junior system. Looks of it is an RGL show. Then again, it's got the name Support Your Local Sheriff, which is a pretty funny name. So that's going down. IPW UK is having a Tuesday show as well as a show this Sunday. So a double header for them. MLW is having its show in New York with the 40-person battle royal where you can win by pinfall submission or over the top rope. That's not till next week. Oh, Shine. I could probably have a quick look, see if I can get the card for that, because I think that's now fully up. The big thing is because of Lufisto's chemo that she's having to go through because of her cancer, she had to drop the belt because she felt it was only fair that basically the championship should be defended on the show, especially when you take into account that it's the anniversary of Shine as well. So trying to see if we've got the card listed here. Yeah, we do. We got Dynamite Deity versus Alex Garcia, Tisha Price taking on Jenna, Brandy Lauren versus Amber Nova, Jordan Grace versus Andrew Bale, Su Young taking on Kimberly, Candy Cartwright of the Cutie Pie Club defends the Shine Nova title against Lever. What's she going to cosplay as this week? Apparently, Kaiju Big Battle's got a show this weekend, Southern Division Episode 3. That's all you need to know, honestly. In an I Quit match, we got Stormy Lee versus Rain, and if Rain loses, she must retire, which I think is the main event, which is an interesting one. And then there's a 4-team elimination for the Shine Tag titles with Las Icadias of Eva Lisa Mercedes Martinez defending against the Cutie Pie Club of Kira Hogan and Dementia DeRose, Team Spam of Arja Pereira and Ariel Monroe, and the Twisted Sisters of Holly Dead and Thunder Rosa. If there's any justice, Twisted Sisters should hopefully win that if they wanted to do a title change. If not, I suggest it probably should just stay where it is for the time being. So that's going down. Progress has got a dome show this Wednesday, but then they've also going to be having a Wednesday night show for a change at the Electric Ballroom in Camden, basically because of the US tour happening over early to mid-August. So that's why they're doing it when they are. Looking at the notes of it as well, they're then having a show back at the Electric Ballroom again, and then they're going on the German tour, and there isn't any other shows in the UK before the September 30 Wembley Arena show, so that should be pretty tasty, maybe. We've also got Excellence Pro Wrestling. They've got a show this weekend going down. Ring of Honor we've already mentioned. I don't know what's happening with Defiance Ringmaster Tournament. I haven't been able to find any results for that yet. I haven't updated these notes in any good time, so that's fucking brilliant. I guess I know what I'm doing after this. See when the next shows are, delete as applicable. I think that is everything. Have a quick look at the chat. If Joey Ryan is dead, then everything is evil. Well, yeah, everything is evil. Have you not heard the speech? Obvious. Really want Gardo and Gato to beat the Suzuki Gun and sick of El Desperado's cradle finisher. I'm sick of Takashi. What's his name? I can't even remember. Takashi Iizuka? That twat? Dear God. I want to see Walter destroy Lars Sullivan. Sort of, yeah. Alpha Club, Bullet Club, and the Jericho Cruise. I think we talked about that. I don't know if it was before or after your comment. Still think Cody's going to beat Jay for the Ring of Honor title. Unless they do it on the TV tapings. Then again, they don't need to because they've already established that the match was going to happen anyway. But then it got sort of skew-iffed by the Flip Gordon shit and whatever. Who remembers Walter breaking the ring? There's a lot of people breaking rings. Worst GMs in wrestling: Brad Maddox, Brooke and Hulk Hogan, Dixie Carter, or Jonathan Coachman. What would you say to that, Owen? Worst general manager figure?
Oh God.
I'd say Billy Corgan was up there. But then that was the circumstances of him just being a bloody puppet in Dixie's stuff. You know, that shit that didn't make sense. To some extent as well, Cornette in Impact. Because he was there and then he just disappeared. And stuff. On the WWE front, yeah, Maddox was pretty bad. Then again, I'd say Shawn Michaels' stint as commissioner was bad. But again, that was probably because he was just high on drugs and drink at the time. And all that shenanigans and whatever. What wrestling service should I try out? Because I know Impact's bad. And what's the difference between Honor Club memberships? Oh, I'm trying to remember what the deal is with the Honor Club stuff. Let me quickly bring it up. So yeah, from basically the regular the regular subscription, which is either your $9.99 a month or $100 a year, gives you live streaming of like the ROH on tour events, which is basically the UK shows and anything they decide to put up, including this Friday's Honor for All thing. They've also got the weekly television along with all the archives of the weekly television. You've got the archive pay-per-views as well, along with all the old HDNet episodes and everything. And then with the basic package, you get 50% off Ring of Honor pay-per-views if you choose to buy them. 15% off purchases from the shop, and early access to the live event tickets and everything. If you choose to go for the premium subscription, which is another $20 on top of that, basically 120, you get all of that stuff, but then you also get access to all the Ring of Honor legit pay-per-views. So Supercard of Honor, Final Battle, Best in the World, Death Before Dishonor, the anniversary show. So the 5 pay-per-views that they do, you get that bundled in, included as well. So it's not too bad a thing, but obviously I haven't got the money, you know, to actually put 120 or 100 down immediately in terms of the best value. I'm trying to think. I'd be tempted to say New Japan, wouldn't you, Owen? In terms of
if I had the finances right now, I would get New Japan World right now.
You know, with the G1 and everything, that's going to be worth catching. Plus, with that, you also get the access to all the New Japan archive as well, like all the classic matches,
right,
from back in the day, not just the recent classic matches. Like we're talking like the 70s and 80s and 90s stuff as well. Also, I'd give a shout out to either Progress Wrestling or Fight Club Pro for the UK sort of stuff if you want to see that. And I don't know whether if subscribing to the High Spots Wrestling Network gets you PWG or not. I'm not sure. Because if it does, that'd be a good thing to do. I want Matanza to sacrifice that black FBI agent that killed Dario. Yeah, but if the black FBI agent was in on it because Dario was supposed to be killed, who knows? If Excalibur was going to be all in, what about Super Dragon? I think Super Dragon's happy enough with just sitting back and watching the money come in.
Yeah.
In all honesty, because he hasn't been seen in years. El Jefe's saying he's thinking out of trying Demand Progress or Rev Pro on demand. One thing I realized, because I need to apologize to Doug Lackey for sending him a Will Ospreay Marty Scurll match that was absolutely terrible fucking quality, and the commentary was bloody terrible as well. I'd say Demand Progress, because I'd say overall they've had the better shows than Rev Pro. More people. If Joey Ryan's dead, then Snack Stash is basically Sip and Snack.
Oh Lord!
Don't let on. Don't let on.
If Joey Ryan's dead, then Ashley's Big Daddy Volta. Have you seen us in the same room at the same time? No. When are we going to do a live reaction stream like we did for Mania? Didn't we say maybe SummerSlam?
Maybe, we'll
With the
see.
schedules and whatever that was going. Live reaction for an actually worthy show. Well, I did it for Dominion, but none of you... Well, I was going to say none of you guys came over to Twitch. But apparently, YouTube is banning people for saying going over to Twitch channels because it's deemed spam. So, I think the reactions are still up there on my Twitch channel, which is basically... it's not my Twitter name. It's Ashley is my name. That is my Twitch channel. So you can check the archive on there and whatever. Where do they have Tyler Bate versus Will Ospreay? I think that match was... Hang on. Where was Tyler Bate? Tyler Bate versus Will Ospreay was Fight Club Pro. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's the first time they've ever fought each other, and it sort of blew the house down. There is a highlights package, by the looks of it, already up on YouTube to some random music video. So it must be available for you to watch International Techers on the Fight Club Pro. Let me see if I can get the... Yeah, it's vimeo.com/on-demand/Fight Club Pro 2018. If you want to try and find that. If you just search Fight Club Pro, Vimeo, that's Vimeo, you should be able to find it eventually somewhere in that, because they've got like 2 or 3 different links. Because basically for the 2017, it's Fight Club Pro 2017, and I think the generic one is Fight Club Pro with all sort of the old stuff before 2017, or at least some of it. I don't think it's like every single show, because they haven't been able to upload it on demand yet. Is Owen dead? No. He's just tired. Then again, as am I. I thought you were going to go Tekashi 69. Well, no, that's Tekashi 6. It's not Tekashi 69. It's Rosuke Taguchi's the 69 King. Bruce Pritchard and Karen Jarrett in Impact. Oh, them and Zeb Coulter. That triumvirate of who the fuck was in charge. One Triple S saying he'd get on a club just to see Bryan Danielson and Tyler Black or Roderick Strong's archives, and the 60-minute match with Punk and Joe. Yeah. I'm going to say it now because I'm sick of the Joey Ryan jokes. He obviously isn't dead. You know, it's like saying Christopher Daniels actually made sure that Stephen Amell was arrested. No.
I don't want to do it tonight because we say that we are in dire need of taking it home right now because I have to work in the morning. But I will state right now, we are going to be covering StarCast and talking about all the cool things that are going to be going on during StarCast, including
even though we aren't going to be able to see it, are we?
Sammy Callahan's and Nintendo 64 birthday celebration tournament.
Okay, that's fucking random.
So yeah, that's a thing. And yeah, that's going to be coming up. Yeah, we can actually, some of the stuff is going to be broadcast, so there's got to be a way to check some of it out.
Okay. That will be interesting. And they've officially confirmed that World of Sport is going to be on Saturday afternoon, July 28th at 5 p.m. The return for 10 weeks with, I still can't believe it, Stu Bennett, SoCal Val, and Alex Shane on commentary. What the fuck did we do to deserve those cunts?
Fight TV, fight.tv/StarCast.
On that scary bombshell, I need to take it home. I need to get a bath bag for that and that commentary team. Dear fucking God.
That's the end of the show. And the last thing I'm going to say is, yes, it was mentioned earlier. I don't know if it was mentioned or not, probably because I've been fading in and out. Alpha Club versus Bullet Club on the Chris Jericho's Rockin' Wrestling Rager.
Oh, and the implication being that Joey Janela's curtain jerking for All In.
I wouldn't be shocked.
As well. He's going to be in the opening match. In some shape or form. So, there we go.
That's your show. So it's another edition of the Monday Wrestling Podcast. So, Ashley, where are we find you on social media?
On Twitter, Ash is my name UK.
Gaming with Ash and Snack Sash coming up later this week.
Yep.
We also have my Twitter, which is at Suro and Disney. Follow the network at Popcast Network. Check out our Facebook fan page at Popcast Network. And also, if you have any ideas for Sip and Snack or versus the other regular segments on this network, shoot me an email, suroanddisney@gmail.com. Versus, obviously, will be, it's been a couple days late. It's actually going to go up on Wednesday, so get ready for that. So that's going to be continuing the Broadway theme of the month of July. More Sip and Snacks coming. And then, of course, we roll into Slammiversary next week. That should be fun.
Oh, wow. So it's going to be... I didn't realize this. If you want to watch all the StarCast stuff, it's $150.
Yes.
On Fight.tv. That does include Karaoke and Marty Skull, the Monday Night Wars debate with Pritchard and Bischoff, Botchamania, the special one with Tony Schiavone. So, you know, apparently Matthew just loves Schiavone. There's a Papa Buck Gam session, Medusa on Throttled, talking about women's wrestling. What happened when Monday special, a 4-star summit with Meltzer, Alvarez, Keller, and Mitchell, which is I think the first time they've ever done like a retrospective together. Also, an interesting retrospective between Funk and Lawler regarding the empty arena matches. Wrestle Crap War Games retrospective with Luger, Animal, Blanchard, and JJ Dillon. Clock Blockers with Macaulay Culkin. And then the all-in weigh-in. They're doing a weigh-in and a press conference. Is this UFC? What? There's some Bruce Pritchard stuff. There's some Raven stuff. ICP, Stranglemania. Oh, my God. Some DDP Yoga. Andy Kaufman. There's a heck of a lot going on over the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday of the... so that's interesting. So it looks as if the StarCast stuff is going to be on Fight. I'm wondering whether All In might be on Twitch.
Possibly.
It doesn't seem to be listed at any point happening at the minute on Fight. I guess the announcement still has to be made. But considering they said pay-per-view and also, online, I'm guessing they're probably going to have to be charging for it, which means Fight is the obvious one. If they are ballsy and they say to people, yeah, you can pay $10 for it on television, or you can watch it for free. I guess it's how much money they make from the seats. So we'll have to see. It's Prime Day, bitches.
So, as always, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more tonight you have chosen a podcast. I thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening. Thank you, live chat. You guys are awesome as always. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we're going to say about that.
If Joey Ryan was dead, you stop asking us questions and let Owen get to sleep. Shoot. That's a fucking shoot.